Hi, my beautiful friends. How are y'all doing? I hope everyone's having a lovely, beautiful day today. I hope that y'all are staying cool out there because we're like still in summer and it's extremely hot, as always, as it is here in my beautiful state. That humidity is something else, y'all. I gotta tell y'all that. Whew. I wish I lived in a cooler place, but then if I went to a colder state, I'd probably sit there and be saying the same thing. Oh, it's freezing cold. Oh, I can't handle it. But, good thing I got AC, so that always helps. And, drink plenty of water, beautiful people. Keep hydrated. That's important. So I want y'all to make sure y'all take great care of yourselves. It's important. And I also wanted to welcome y'all to my channel, Tropical Empress in Spirit. My name is Amanda. I hope y'all beautiful people are doing well, and thank you for stopping by to visit my channel. It means a lot to me. I wanted to continue on a conversation from a video I had posted recently talking about psychic abilities, like how you develop them, if you're struggling with them some way or you're not sure. And there's one thing that I meant to mention that I didn't, or I didn't go into a lot of great detail explaining why it's so important, and that's protection. Protection is extremely important, beautiful people. And it's important whether you're just starting off trying to open that door, trying to open up your psychic eye. I call it your psychic eye, but people know it as your third eye. If you're trying to develop your psychic abilities, or maybe you're one who likes to read cards. Reading cards takes, a great deal of energy too. And you also, are using your intuition to read the cards. Like me, I'm more of an intuitive reader than I am one who will go through and tell you the answers or the messages through the guidebook. I use both, but I go off intuition more than I do the guidebook meanings to the cards. But what I want y'all to know is it takes a lot of energy to do either one, or you do both like I do. For me, it's like, you have to, why protection is so important is because you want to protect your energy in your space so nothing evil or negative can ever enter into your sacred space, into when you're trying to connect, if you're trying to channel, like talk to your spirit guides or maybe even a loved one, a passed over loved one. Or you just may end up going through and wanting to just see what those abilities are, what's there, you know. Either way, your reasons, or, reading cards, tarot and oracle cards, you want to put up that layer of protection. And, this is something that I wish I had known when I was young, because God only knows what could have happened. If I had been more willing to accept my abilities when I was a little girl and communicating with spirits or the orbs or anything along those lines, I mean, it even scares me just the thought of it, because no one spoke to me about it. I didn't learn about protection or even psychic shielding until I got into like my early 20s. And, and I couldn't believe how naive I was. Because for me, being a psychic and having these abilities that I just, the best way I can describe it is I just, rolled out of bed one day and they were there. I didn't have to work to develop them. They were just there at varying strengths and varying levels. And, some were already present, and then others came later and surfaced later when I got a little bit older. But either way, I was naive. And, I remember just when I would see like spirit orbs, for example, I would see it, but I wouldn't talk to it because I didn't want to talk to it. But I wasn't even going through and telling it, to go away or stay. I wasn't doing that, and I wasn't sure exactly who it was. I mean, it could have easily have been, one of my spirit guides or my guardian angel or a loved one. But it very well could have even been another passed over spirit that I didn't know, or even a bad energy or entity. I don't think that ever happened until I got a little bit older, to where I was more open to my abilities and talking to spirit. And so those, once in a great while, like a blue moon, something would appear or show up, but I would get rid of it just as quickly when it would first appear. So, but that was me with more experience than too, of knowing how important psychic shielding and, you know, other protections like crystals, burning sage, and Palo Santo. Um, there's so many ways you protect yourself. And another thing I want y'all to know is, even, if I'm not doing any kind of readings, or if I'm not trying to tap into my abilities like now, I will still put up that protection before I turn on this camera. Just because I understand that that energy can pass through. And that might sound, crazy and far-fetched for some people out there, and I get it. I understand. But I want you to understand that even, watching another, YouTube channel or anything like that, or getting a reading, there is that energy that's being exchanged. And if someone's even in the chat, that energy gets exchanged. And they can easily have something negative or evil tied to them that you're unaware of, and it could pass through. So I want y'all to be aware of that, and to always put up protection, because it is so important. And what I also want you to know is that when, I'm on, YouTube, if I'm on a live, whether I'm the one that's actually on the live, talking about my gifts or doing readings or whatever, or I'm in a chat, there's a difference, to where I may not be open to receiving, any messages or talking to spirits at that time, because I didn't prep myself to open that door or that channel, that gate. Um, and so for me, when I try and channel, or when I, want to communicate with my spirit guides, my loved ones, or possibly even a spirit of someone I don't know, I have to do a lot of groundwork to do that. I have to center myself first. And then I put up those layers of protection around me, so that nothing evil will come through, or nothing negative that I don't want there. Otherwise, something bad could possibly happen. Another, a negative energy can come through and attach itself to me. Um, but I also don't go through and keep that channel open when I'm like just talking, with friends, socializing. That channel's not open. I have to go in and open that channel, open that gate. And then when I'm done with it, I have to close that gate. So, and that's another thing I want y'all to know. You need to go through, if you're ever going through and trying to talk to your spirit guides, or trying to connect with a passed over loved one, or maybe, like I said, you're a tarot reader, you read cards. You need to understand, if you're just starting out in this, that you got to open that door, put up your protection, and open the door. But then when you're done, you also need to close that door. Otherwise, you're just leaving it wide open. And even though you may be done, talking, if you're talking to your, spirit guides or loved ones, or if you're reading cards, you can have another energy pass through that you didn't want there. And you're done reading cards. You ended the reading, but you still left that door open. That's dangerous. You don't want to do that, beautiful people. So I'm asking, and I'm trying to educate y'all and be as informative as I possibly can be, because I think it's very important. It is so important. And I wish people had told me that back then when I was younger. But then again, like I said, I was not open to my abilities back then, even though they were, showing up left and right, and I was getting, different, things happening, different experiences. I was not aware that I was supposed to put up that protection. I mean, other than me praying to God and Jesus and asking Him to watch over me, outside of that, I wasn't doing anything else. And I thought that was enough to protect me. But, and I'm not saying it's not, but you want to put up as much layers of protection as possible. It is really important. And because understand me, this is another thing I wanted to talk about. You know, for me, when I want to talk to my loved ones, my spirit guides, or if I want to even just pull cards out of my tarot oracle decks, I won't do it if I'm angry, if I'm really, you know, if I'm having, you know, the blues, like I'm sad about something, you know, maybe, a loved one passed over recently, and yes, I want to talk to them, but, you know, I'm grieving, or maybe I, just had a fight with someone, or I'm just having a bad day, or maybe I'm just tired, like my body's fatigued, or maybe I'm sick, like maybe I got a bad cold or sinus infection, something like that. Those are the times I will not open that door. I will not go through and ask them to come through, nor will I pick up these tarot cards. I won't do it because that energy goes into those cards, and having that low vibration will also be that kind of energy, that light to those negative and evil entities and energies want to come through. And they will be able to do it a lot easier because you are not at your best. You are not at your strongest. You know, when you do this, you have to be confident and sure and understand that there are things that can still happen that you may not be aware of, or you may not be prepared for, or you may not even understand. Like you may just have this thought like, well, I didn't know that was going to happen. This is, why I'm making this video. I want you to understand there's so many things that can happen. We make it look easy. I may make it look easy to y'all. When I'm, talking about my abilities, sharing stories, or if, I'm, reading cards or anything like that, I might make it look easy to y'all. But it's not that easy, sweethearts. It's not. I have to use a lot of energy. And I have to be at my highest vibration. Which is why I said in the other video, you need to raise your vibration up, your energy up, so you can reach the heavens instead of it going all the way down and reaching, below. You don't want to do that. You don't want to welcome or uninvite, you don't want to, invite an energy in that's low vibrational, whether you meant to do it or not. Because I don't want any of them around me. I want them gone. I keep them away. I do rituals, of protection to make sure I keep them out. So, what I want y'all to know is if you are looking at opening that door, opening that, your psychic eye to communicate, to develop your psychic abilities, or to read cards, or maybe there's another divination tool you want to use. Make sure you put up your protection and make sure you're at your highest vibration. You want your energy to vibrate at a high level, because if not, it will open that door to something you don't want. So my advice to y'all beautiful people is, please, if you're going through something, if you're having some kind of struggle or hardship where your energy may not be as high, which is understandable. We all go through things. Even I do, okay? I ask that you don't try and channel or try and read cards if that's what you want to do, because like I said, you can open that door to something you don't want there. And then the messages, if you're reading cards and the messages that come through, you may think it's your loved one, or you may think it's your spirit guide or your guardian angel, but it could be something else. And you don't want that, beautiful people. So I ask you to really think about that and consider that if you haven't, it's just something I do for myself. Because I know that by opening that door, I can create a danger for not only me, but for my loved ones. And I don't want to do that. One of the things that years ago, my husband kept encouraging me to dive deeper into, my spirituality, my psychic abilities. Once he became a believer, which is funny, if you've watched the other, video about it, you'll know what I'm talking about. But he was a hardcore skeptic when I met him. And it took probably about 3-4 years roughly after we had been married before I think it's kind of funny to use this term, but I converted him from a skeptic to a believer in psychics because he didn't believe in psychics at all. And since then, he has done nothing but encourage me. And he wanted me to, develop it more and go deeper with it years ago, and I wouldn't do it. And one of my reasons for it is just because I never wanted to create that possibility of opening a gate to something evil coming through and then attacking my loved ones. And, also myself, but, my concern is for my loved ones. Because my loved ones may not be prepared. They may not be in tune, with their psychic self to know when a negative energy is present or an evil entity is present and trying to come through, and then something bad can happen to them, and I don't want that. And I'm not saying this to scare y'all, okay? It's just to warn you and for something for y'all to think about. Because for me, I didn't want to be the reason that someone would, get hurt, have some kind of spiritual attack, or, you just never know. And dealing with that, you never ever know. You have to be sure. You have to be confident in yourself and in your protection you laid out, your ritual protection that you surround yourself, but also think, protect your loved ones too, because I could have easily at one point in time could have had invited someone into my home, into my space to come around my loved ones, and they could have gotten hurt, and I would have regretted it. I would have hated myself for it. And I never want to do that. So I had to be confident in myself and my abilities, and also in the layers of protection to make sure once I do it that everyone around me who's connected to me is also protected. And even people who don't know me, even strangers, like if I leave my house and I, like, just say I go to the grocery store, all the people in that store probably more than likely don't know me. But I can easily walk in there, and if I'm not careful, if I left that door open, I could have easily had a negative energy just follow me, come with me, and then it follows me to the store, and then it can, attach to someone else there. I'm not going to do that. And I won't do that. I will always make sure I close that door. So I just want to give you an example of what can happen if you're not careful. So please be sure you're at your highest vibrational self. You're positive. You're in a good place, in a good space, and you're clear-headed to be able to talk to them safely. If you want to talk to your loved ones, your spirit guides, whoever, or to read cards to know that the energy that's coming through is positive and is good and not something evil or negative. You don't want to do that. I won't do that. I won't go there. I won't, and open any kind of room for any kind of evil or negative energy to come through. And the times that I did have something come through, I wasn't aware of all its protection then. So that's why I want you to know that now. Hi, beautiful spirit. Sorry, I just saw a bright twinkle orb appear in front of me. So, but anyway, so I want you to really consider all that. And just understand too that, the readers out there, like myself and others, it takes a lot of energy to read, to do what we do. And it's not just like a switch. And that goes for everyone though. That goes for psychics and tarot readers. It takes a lot of energy. And people may think it's so easy that we just hit the switch and it comes on and, we're ready to go. No, beautiful people, it doesn't work that way. You know, I wish it did and make it easier, but it doesn't work that way. So when we do it, we use up a lot of our own energy, which is also why you'll find that many of the readers out there, when they do lives, they limit the time they do it because that time is probably all they got in their tank to read. You know, some can push it past it, and I've done it. Listen, I'm guilty. I did a 4.5 hour live, you know, but those readings were so deep too, and I'm not complaining because I loved reading for everyone I read for that night. But it took a lot of energy out of me, and it drained me so much that it took me 3 or 4 days to recover, to regain my strength back, my, you know, energy, to feel um refreshed. You know, my batteries were charged back up to where I can go again. So I even have to be sure that I'm ready, I'm at my best, and my energy shield is, you know, safe and sacred, and I got a full tank of gas in me to go and open the door, read cards, whatever that is. Because I just think that there's a lot of people out there that don't understand that they just may simply think that, you know, when you know, open a deck of, you know, tarot oracle cards, they think, oh, you're just reading the card. Oh, you know, that doesn't take anything. No, it takes a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot that goes into it. It's not just simply unboxing and pulling the tarot or oracle deck out of the box and shuffling it and then seeing which card pops out. No, it's so much more than that. So, you know, I think some readers get taken advantage of too. Or, you know, we tend to get taken for granted. You know, and I just want y'all to know that, you know, always be thankful for the ones who read for you, you know, who give you their time and their energy to do that, because it takes a lot to do it, beautiful people. I know it takes a lot out of me to do a reading, you know, or to do multiple readings. But like I said, I do it willingly too, because I love doing it. I love helping people. But I do feel like some just take it for granted or take advantage. So just understand me that there is a lot that goes into this when you're wanting to tap into your psychic abilities, read cards, and into the spirit world. It is so much more than just, you know, turning up a, you know, if I can talk right, hitting a switch, like, you know, a light switch. It's not that easy. So, you know, this is something I wanted y'all to know, though. I hope this has helped. I hope this has been informative for y'all. And I hope there's something in this that you can take away from it that's educational for you and informative. You know, I'm hoping that, you know, everyone who comes across this will already know about the protections, the shield, and how much energy that goes into reading cards or opening up our psychic abilities to communicate whatever those psychic abilities are. You know, I know many of y'all out there already know this, but I just wanted to make this video as a follow-up, as a part 2, just to kind of get into that and, you know, to get more deep and detailed into it, to let y'all know exactly, you know, how it goes and how someone like me, how I have to do things before I turn on this camera and read cards, or, you know, if I was to try and tap into talking to a deceased spirit or my spirit guides, it's a lot of energy, and I exert a lot of energy, you know, to do that and to read cards for y'all. So, so my beautiful people, if you're just starting out in this, I welcome you. I welcome you with open arms. I hope that, you know, you will feel happy, safe, and secure in this space, in this community, because it is a beautiful community and there's a lot of beautiful people out there. So I welcome you. I hope that you get the enjoyment and find your path forward doing this, whether it's reading cards or tapping into your psychic abilities, or possibly even both. Whatever that is for you, I welcome you. And I hope that, there's something in this that, might help you in some way. If you're just learning, I hope this has been, informative for you out there, beautiful. So, well, I'm going to end it there, beautiful people. I hope that, this has been helpful and, it's been informative, or maybe to confirm something that you were told by someone else. So that would be good, to know, that yes, there's more than one of us who's saying, along the lines of the same things. And so I hope that helped y'all. And I hope that, what I have to say, will validate or make you feel more confident in yourself and how to move forward, and, or something to consider, that you may not have considered or thought about before. So, my beautiful people, I'm wishing y'all, so many love, so much love and many blessings for your wonderful life and all the great things in this life that you want and desire and that you're deserving of, as all of us are so very deserving, including you, beautiful, and to my handsome gents too. I don't forget about y'all. I know y'all don't like being called beautiful, but I think you're still a beautiful soul. That's why I call you beautiful. So, all right, beautiful people, I wish y'all well. I wish y'all a wonderful day and a happy, fulfilling journey, and so much love and happiness and abundance and good health and protection. Until next time, be good and go out there and conquer your reality.